Shalom. This is the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Today's class is the Thursday scripture breakdown class, held by myself, captain of 10,000 per Russia of the ISUPK. The ISUPK is not affiliated with no Israelite groups. And from 1969, we've been teaching the truth according to the Bible that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true and biblical Israelites, the same people that you read about in the Bible, the same people that heard the voice of God and lived, the same people that God parted the Red Sea for, and they walked through that sea on dry land. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from those great men and women found in the Bible. So at the ISUPK, we teach the answer to black problems that we see every day. So, if you're black, Hispanic, Native Indian, we behoove you, meaning we beg you to come through these doors and we will answer all your questions. If you're online and you're new to class, whatever's on your mind, type it in, man. See what we can do for you to show you this is the place of the Lord. If you're a black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and a woman, this is the place where you will find rest. And this is at the ISUPK. So we're going to get into the scripture breakdown in 1 second. Bear with me. Yeah. So we're gonna get into a class today, and with what is going on in the world right now, this class definitely is very relevant. And the reason being is, because of the internet. The internet gives people a voice that shouldn't have a voice.
Cool.
Everyone who you watch online doesn't mean you should learn off them, man. It doesn't mean they have the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding. And that's the
Right.
problem. So many of us, because of YouTube and people's video editing, we believe things that ain't even there. We believe things that are not even happening. And in these last days, if you want to serve the Lord, you can't be afraid. Fear cannot be in you, and especially fear over conspiracy. If you're in the UPK, you can't be afraid of the Illuminati, man. If you're in the UPK, you can't be afraid of vaccines. If you are in
Right.
the UPK, you can't be afraid of, what really happened in 9/11. If you're in the UPK, you can't be afraid of how a Princess Diana died. It was the royal family.
Mm.
So many people like to think those things, and it's because they're afraid. And when you're afraid, you don't like to face reality. You don't like to face the real message behind things. So what do? You need a lie to make you feel comfortable. You need to believe that, well, Diana, the royal family, wanted her dead. Instead of don't drink and drive with the limousine driver,
Mm.
why don't you focus on that? But you don't want to focus on don't drive drunk. You rather just focus on the royal family killed her. They didn't want that. What's his name? Muhammad Al Fayed. They didn't want the royal family tainted. Instead of the limousine driver was drunk. Focus on that part. Focus on listen. Don't drive drunk. Meanwhile, you rather focus on the royal family wanting it dead so that you can drive drunk, and that's the
Cool.
problem. If you search far and wide, what is in front of your eyes, you will never see it. 9/11, it was an inside job. No, man. If you believe that, then you don't believe in the Bible. The Bible says God, so in the Bible, God says he was going to bring America down, and that with the king of terrors They will be sent on them, but you don't want to hear that. You want to hear it's an inside job, so it makes you feel comfortable. And then deep down, you know it's a lie. That's why you're anxious. That's why you're afraid, because you know really it's deeper than that. Just lucky, okay, 1 second. It's gonna turn this speaker. Um, that should be it. Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, when you're afraid, you don't want to see what is in front of your eyes, and you rather believe something else. So we're gonna get into the Bible first. Then we got an article. So if you can someone get me a Jeremiah 8:2?
Come on, come on. It's like it. Jeremiah 18 and 22.
Let me check. Yes, it's Jeremiah 8:2. If not 8:2, 8:3.
Oh, come on, come on. Book of Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 2. And they shall spread them before the sun and the moon, and all the host of heaven, whom they have loved,
Mm-hmm.
and whom they have served, and after whom they have walked, and whom they have sought, and whom they have worshipped.
So what's that talking about? Meaning we would be spread everywhere as a nation. Why? Because we worship them. The Lord's saying, well, you know what? Since you want to be like them, you can actually go with them, man. You can go with the white man, go with the East Indians, since you want to be like them. Let's read on.
Come on. They shall not be gathered nor be buried. They shall be for dung upon the face of the earth.
And guess what? That's how we are as a nation. We are like dung, meaning what? No one respects us, man. No one goes, you know what? What we're doing to those people is wrong. We're like dung for the earth in the UK. You go into an Indian man shop, he's mocking you. Yes, brother. Yes, brethren. Yeah, man, the bread's over there, brethren. Yeah, brother. That is rude. Nah, that's rude right now. Imagine if you walk in the
That's
shop
right.
and you're like, yes, bro. Yes, bro. In it, bro. He would be offended, like, what's wrong with you? You are taking the mick at me. Meanwhile, as a
Yeah,
black man, you go in their shop, they don't think like that at all. If you was to do it to them, they would be offended. You was to go in the shop, in it, bro, yeah, bro. I mean, I want that, bro, this, bro. They be like, nah, that's rude, man. But then you don't feel no way to disrespect me, man. To where when the black man is vexed, they act like, what's wrong with you? We're just joking, man. We're just joking. No, if I can't joke with you, don't joke with me, man. Read on.
that's right. Come on. And death shall be chosen rather than life.
And there
But
you go. That's what's going on now, man. In life today, many people they choose death. Many people they rather believe in the Illuminati than what pick life, man. They rather
look,
believe in something far and wide instead of what can make them live. Like the example when Princess Diana died, most people they gravitated to it was the royal family. But if you want to live, don't be an alcoholic, man. Don't drink and drive. Why don't you focus on that part? But here's the problem: when people choose death, they don't want to pick what will make him live. And for those that believe in Illuminati and New World Order, you choose death, man. You serve the Lord, you will get life. But what do? You occupy your time in, because while it is the one to control your mind, or the TV and the vision. Listen, that is a lie, man. All of that is nonsense. There's no factual evidence behind it. And what's funny is even in the name, it's a theory. A theory. A theory is not a fact. So meaning someone is making up that there's a new world order. Someone is making up about they want to control your mind. That is a theory. It's in the word in itself. It's a theory. It's not fact. There's nothing concrete they can go, yeah, you know what? They're right, man. The government is trying to control our minds. The government is trying to do this and dumb us down. Those are theories. They're not facts. And if you want to live, black man, you need facts, man. If you want to live and not die, how about you serve the Lord? The Bible is facts. You know what I mean? You can research in your own time. When it comes to a Noah's Ark, that is a fact, man. In the Bible, where it says the ark was, they found it, man. And many things in the Bible, people find it all the time. It's about time we focus on those facts so that we can live and not die. Read on.
Calm, calm. And death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family.
And there, man. And guess what? Among us, we've chose death, man. We've chose the things that make us die instead of the things that would make us live, man.
Calm.
You know what I mean? People that don't want the vaccine, what? Like, you don't want to live. There's a virus going around the globe, killing people left, right, center. And you go, I don't trust that vaccine. Listen, I want to live, man. I'm not a doctor, but guess what? All you can do is go by what the doctors say, man. It's like a mechanic. You ain't no mechanic, so what do? You listen to what the mechanic says. That's all what you can do. You can't tell a mechanic, no, you're wrong. On the internet, the Illuminati said you don't fix cars like that. That mechanic will look at you like you're crazy. Like, listen, I fix cars for a living. You need a new engine, man. The engine oil's gone, and you're gonna tell him no, that you know what I mean? I don't believe you. That's a lie. When you talk about vaccines, that vaccine's evil. A doctor must look at you sideways like, what are you talking about, man? We are in the labs. We are doing, this and that. And you're just online. You're just on YouTube. And you're going to tell a doctor who's in the lab, nah, that vaccine is bad, man. It's poison. You can't trust it. Meanwhile, he's working with the vaccine. And that's the problem. People choose death. They choose death. Listen, man, while you are alive, you should fight to live. Your whole goal should be, listen, whatever I got to do to live, even one more day, do it, man. Look, obviously, anything that is in the law, of course. But whatever can make you live for another day, do it, man. There's a virus going over the earth, killing people. You want to live, take the vaccine, man. Don't let no internet tell you, me, you know me, and it's not even a fact. It's a theory. It's a theory, meaning what they're saying, there's no evidence. It's just how they think about it. It's just how they feel about it. But listen, you choose life, man. If you're in the UPK, you are commanded to choose life. You are commanded to live, man. Don't let some weirdo online make you die.
Come.
You mean he's gonna make you die from what he doesn't even know? Don't do that, man. Read on.
Calm. Which remain in all the places whither I have driven them, saith the Lord of hosts.
And there you go. So the Lord's saying, wherever we are on the earth, predominantly we'll be a nation that will always be choosing death. And that's what you see, man. You know what I mean? Among blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what do you notice so much about us? We are afraid, man. We're afraid of everything. The Illuminati, 9/11, New World Order. We're afraid of everything. And listen, if you want to serve the Lord, you cannot be afraid, man. You cannot be afraid. Or then I'm going to tell you as honest as I can, you're going to be just like them in the world, man. And listen, we don't hate nobody that's black, Hispanic, Native Indian. But guess what? You're going to be just like them in the world, afraid of everything, afraid to open letters, afraid to do this, afraid to do that. You want to know a fact? There's some people, they're so afraid, before they go to bed, they put some tape around the camera on their laptop. They believe that with the government, they're going to watch them through the lens of their laptop.
Right.
I've been in the house and, where the web cam is. I see some duct tape over it. I'm like,
God.
what's that? Nah, the government watch you. They watch you. What? While you're in your house, you are crazy, man. You're insane. So listen, in the comfort of your own house, you're not even resting because you believe someone's watching you. Do you know
Right.
how ridiculous that is? And I'm sorry, I, you know what I mean? If you don't like it tough, why is the government watching you? You mean,
Right.
what have you got that? Guess what? With them MI6, they gotta watch you in Handsworth,
God.
you in my side. You know what I mean? Come on, in the world there's billionaires, millionaires. You know what I mean? People that got all kind of things happening, and the government just want to watch me in Handsworth. You know what I mean? I don't know why. In
Right.
my side, the government just want to watch you in London through your webcam. Think about it, man. You ain't doing nothing great. You're working a 9 to 5 like the rest of us.
God.
You know what I mean? So even that, it's ridiculous. Why? So for your webcam, the government just want to watch you. What? You know what I mean? You ain't got nothing going on. But for some reason, the government just watching you through your webcam. Listen, man, get over yourself.
Right.
Listen, man, the government don't care about me. The government don't care about you, man. Look at life. The Windrush should let you know the government don't care about us, man. So why would they be watching us through our webcams for? It's
Mm.
nonsense, man. Read on.
Conan 1 Khan, verse 4. Moreover, thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord, shall they fall and not arise?
Now,
Shall
so
he
now,
turn away and not
so like,
return?
so
Oh,
now, what's the Lord saying? Even though as a nation we fall, we shall arise, man. Meaning, all of this, all of this picking death rather than life, we're gonna rise one day, man. We are gonna rise. Listen, it's not gonna be like this forever. A time is gonna come where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are going to rise. But here's the thing: if you live a life of always being afraid, you ain't going to rise, man. If you just believe everything on the internet, you and me, we're not going to rise. If you believe every theory that someone has, then you can't rise. You know what I mean? Everything they say is not facts. There's no facts behind it. So what we're gonna do next? There's a article we're gonna bring out. Then we're gonna get back in the Bible. Yeah. Let me grab this. Wait 1 second. All right. So I'm getting the article up now. I will screen share it. Most likely, I'll have to read it by the fine print.
God.
Right. Yeah. Yes. All right. Is that readable to anybody or like?
Come on, I can read it.
All right. Yeah. If you can.
Releasing conspiracy theories and misinformation about COVID-19. Comparative perspectives on the role of anxiety, depression, and exposure to and trust in information sources.
Meaning what? Because people believe in this misinformation, it causes anxiety. Meaning, because you've been lied to, it's hurting you.
God.
And what's sad is you're hurting yourself over nothing, man. You're putting duct tape over webcams for nothing. It's misinformation. It's not true. Putting duct tape on webcams on your a laptop. You believe that they're listening into you, and putting some a covering over the speaker on on
God.
on your laptop. You are living a way of life that you don't have to
Right.
because you've been misinformed. I'm not taking no vaccine because it's gonna kill you. It's gonna turn you into a zombie. You are living an anxious life, and you're
Right.
misinformed, and like it's not like you live that way because you're right. You're living that way because you've been misinformed, man.
Cool. That's
You're
right.
living with a burden on your back, and you was misinformed. You're living a way life thinking, you know what, I'm safe. And guess what? It's not even happening anyway, man. The government ain't
Right.
listening into you. What are you gonna talk about? What are you gonna talk about? You're in debt. I'm behind on the rent. You know what I mean? Like, come on, wait. You know what I mean? With the MI6, they need to hear that in it. They need to hear British gas ringing you every week. Really,
God.
you gotta hear that. Yeah, yeah, it's been a month and we haven't received a payment. Come on, like the Illuminati just want to hear that. Really, and Mister, yeah, so you know what I mean? Like we haven't received this and that. Come on, the Illuminati just want to hear that every week. Really,
Mm.
Mister Gordon, your a contract last month, you haven't been paying it. Is there something wrong? Like, come on, with the Illuminati, they want to hear that. Really, come on,
Right.
and that's sad. You got people living thinking I'm safe, I'm protecting myself, and guess what? Nobody's listening to you anyway.
Mm.
Nobody's watching you anyway. And because you've been misinformed, you're living an anxious lifestyle. I'm afraid. You know what I mean? I've got to duct tape this. You know what I mean? On my phone, when I'm in the house, I take out the SIM card. You're living crazy over nothing, over something that is not happening anyway.
God. Right.
And you're depressed, like, gosh, one day they're going to get me. The New World Order's going to get me one day. And you're depressed. Listen, no one's getting you, man.
Mm.
Nobody's getting you. And guess what? All this happens like why? Because like what the title says, you have been exposed and you trust in information, and all the time it's been misinformation. That's the problem. All right, let's scroll down some.
Oh, God.
If if you can see that while COVID-19 spreads aggressively, or you
Can't
want
say.
me to? I got you. No sweat.
No, I got it. While COVID 19 spreads aggressively and rapidly across the globe, many societies have also witnessed the spread of other viral phenomena like misinformation, conspiracy theories, and general mass suspicions about what's really going on.
There you go. So now this article here in specific is talking about the COVID-19. So of course, while it spreads aggressively over the globe, many people, and we've all witnessed it, people
Right,
saying the vaccine is a poisonous, gonna
right,
turn you into a zombie. All this misinformation and conspiracy theories, we've seen them all. And
right.
guess what? They don't know what's really going on, man. And let this be a lesson to all of us. Just because someone else is afraid, don't let their fear come upon you, man.
God,
They're afraid, they believe in a lie. It doesn't mean you need to, man. If they're afraid, make them be afraid alone, but don't let their fear spread to you. Reader.
Khan. This study investigates how exposure to and trust in information sources and anxiety and depression are associated with conspiracy and misinformation beliefs in 8 countries, religions. It's like in 8 countries slash religions: Belgium, Canada, England, Philippines, Hong Kong, New Zealand, United States, and Switzerland during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay, so now, of course, it's mentioned England, where we are, of course, and that's what you see. So many people afraid. All these anti-vaxxers, as what they like to say, always having these protests everywhere. Well, listen, if you don't want to take it, that's on you. But listen, as for me and my house, we want to live, man.
God.
And you know what's funny? There was another article. I won't bring it out, but one anti-vaxxer, he was dying of COVID, and he refused to take the vaccine, and he died, man.
Mm,
Why? Because he believed in a lie. He believed in misinformation, and it cost him his life, man.
God.
Don't let that be you. Listen, man. While you are alive, you should fight to live, man. If something gives you a better chance or a better shot at life, take it, man. Read on.
Con.
It's a lucky the one. If I could,
Yeah, good.
see, they don't want to take the vaccine, right? But they don't mind taking weed. You know what I mean? Ganja, coke, crack. They don't mind putting all of that in their system. But you know what I mean? Something to save your life, and you know what I mean, keep you alive. You know, is poison or there's something wrong with it.
There
The
you go,
people
man.
are destroyed, man. The
It,
lucky.
and you know what's heavy? You know what? I was gonna get to that, but I might as well get into it now. You mean among blacks and Hispanics? You mean that vaccine? Well, listen, you're getting high, man.
God.
Weed. You want to know a fact? Weed takes away from a man his testosterone. So meaning what?
Mm,
You mean you lose all desire of anything, man? Why?
God.
Why do you think someone who's hooked on weed they can't get a job? Because it takes away your desire to do anything, and you're afraid of a vaccine. When you mean a brother or sister gets high every day, and as well, all this synthetic weed that they make, that is killing people, man.
Right.
Some people are getting high and not waking up, man. And then you want to talk about a vaccine when you're not afraid to take that synthetic weed. You're not afraid of
Mm,
ecstasy, crack, having one night stands with whores. You could get AIDS, man. But no one's afraid of that. But a vaccine that can make you live. If the Lord is with you, of course. Read
God.
on.
Con. Data were collected in an online survey fielded from May 29th, 2020 to June 12th, 2020, resulting in a multinational representative sample of 8,806 adult respondents. Results indicate that greater exposure to traditional media, television, radio, and newspapers is associated with lower conspiracy and misinformation beliefs, while exposure to politicians and digital media and personal contacts are associated with greater conspiracy and misinformation beliefs.
Okay, so now what does this mean? Meaning, all right, we're in the UK. If you just watch, like, what's the channel? BBC One. If
Correct.
you listen to the information they had, you wouldn't be afraid. You wouldn't believe in the Illuminati and the New World Order. Meaning, the anxiety and their belief in those things, if you watch what is on like a BBC One, ITV, a Channel 4, their news, it doesn't cause anxiety. You're not
Mm,
afraid. Meanwhile, if you watch the news online, that has a greater effect with anxiety, people being depressed, people being afraid. Now, let me ask you a question. Does anyone know why? Why
mm,
is it
mm,
that with the media online that has people more afraid than the media on the TV? Does
Cause
anyone
like
know why?
if I
Yeah.
could, because there's more misinformation and there's more just people sprouting their opinions and people taking it as facts. It's not actual. Like if to put something on regular media, it has to be kind of sourced in some sort of. It has to be evident in some sort of way. Whereas,
Give that hand. No, no, you don't. No, you're right. That is the point there. Meaning, listen, if you watch the news on BBC One, that news is verified. You
God,
can't you can't go on BBC One and just chat shit. Basically, I'm saying that just to make it easier.
God,
You can't go on BBC One and just wing it. Someone needs to examine the information. Is that true? If you watch the news on ITV, that news is verified. That
God,
reporter has to make sure is that true. Meanwhile, online, nothing has to be verified. It's a theory.
right,
Online, you can just put a camera in your face and just say what you want to say. And because of that, people that trust that news more, that's why they're afraid. That's why they're so anxious. That's why they're depressed because you're not listening to valid sources of information.
right,
You're on the World Wide Web just taking in anything, and that's why you're afraid, because you're listening to anybody, which is
Correct.
ridiculous. Life shows you that you can't listen to just any jando. You mean if you've been to a college or like any education, do you just listen to anybody? Can anyone go, no, no, this is how you do it, man? If you're a mechanic, just your mean here, I will show you. No, that's a lecturer. He's verified, man.
Uh,
He's qualified. And when you watch the news on BBC One or ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, or whatever valid news source, those people are verified, man. On YouTube, those people are not verified. It's just
right.
people with an opinion, man. It's people putting their Samsung S10 in front of their face and, yeah, what's going on? Be careful, people. You know what I mean? And
Correct.
you're listening to them and you're getting depressed. You're becoming afraid. You're
Mm,
getting anxious. Listening to people that you shouldn't be listening to anyway, man.
correct.
Read on.
Khan. The exposure to health experts is associated with lower conspiracy beliefs only. Higher feelings of depression are also associated with greater conspiracy and misinformation beliefs. We also found relevant group and country differences. We discussed the implications of these results.
So, meaning, remember, uh, in the middle of this article right here, they named eight uh, countries. So they're
Correct.
saying if you look at a country where they don't believe in those things, there's a difference. Meaning, there's an obvious a difference in how the people live, how happier they are. While as a country like England or America, the people are depressed, anxious, sad for believing in things that ain't even going on, man. For believing in things that are not even happening. And they show you that, listen, one, a country and the majority of the people, they believe in these things, they're sad. And then a country where the people don't, they're happier, they're living better. We showed you that all what this does, it just makes you sad. Knowing about the Illuminati does not bring you peace, man. Knowing about, allegedly something's wrong with vaccines, it doesn't bring you peace. All it does is make you afraid and anxious. And hmm there you go. So, if you never heard it on the microphone, what the is the said is, all of those theories right there, they love to tell you allegedly what is going on, but they never tell you what to do. So,
Mm,
meaning what? Now they've made you afraid and they've just left you. We don't know.
right.
So, hang on now. I'm scared now. You know what I mean? You told me that the New World Order is going to get me,
Correct.
and there's nothing I can do. So now you've made me afraid, and there's no answer,
Mm,
which of course is going to make someone anxious. They're going
correct.
to be depressed. Like, I'm going to die. The Illuminati is going to kill me. Oh, no. And you've never gave them an answer.
Right.
Of course they're depressed. The vaccine. So, okay, then, if I have a COVID and I'm going to die, I can't take the vaccine. So, what am I going to do?
Right.
So, what then? You got this deep knowledge on, don't take the vaccine. So, then what's next?
Correct.
I can't take it. So, what should I do then? And that's the problem. They want to be deep and they got no answers, man. So now they make you afraid and then just leave you in the dark. Like, well, we don't know, but this is what is going on, man. Ooh, you know what I mean? And then the gun. That is not right, man.
Correct.
Meanwhile, in the UPK, we got all the answers, man.
That's
One
right.
and one answer is take the vaccine and live, man. Another answer is don't be afraid of the New World Order and the Illuminati. It's not what you think it is, man. Those are
Correct.
answers, and serve the Lord. We don't just say things and leave you in the dark. We guess what? We get you out of the dark into the light, man. That's what we do over here. All right, let's read some more. Read that for me, and then
Whilst the SARS CoV-2 virus responsible for causing COVID-19 disease, spreads aggressively and rapidly across the globe. Many societies have also witnessed the spread of other seemingly viral phenomena such as fake news, conspiracy theories, and general mass suspicions about what's. Oh, I feel like I just read this. It's like about what's really going on. Some of the most prevailing narratives are the ones claiming that the virus is caused by 5G cellular technology.
Okay,
Uh,
and that's ridiculous, man. How does radiation cause COVID-19? It don't even make sense. And that's the problem. When when you're afraid, you gotta believe something.
right.
You're afraid and you ain't gonna answer, and you just run to anything like, nah, what it is this and that. Now, I'm gonna let you in on something. If there's COVID-19, what does that mean? If there's COVID-19, what does that let you know?
Came out in 2019.
No. You know what I mean? Okay, now, if there's COVID-19, there's COVID-18, COVID, you know what I mean, down the list.
Okay,
And
correct.
you can look it up. So with a COVID, it's not actually anything new. You can look it up. In West Africa, those tribes that eat the a bush meat, they have what you call a COVID-9. Look it up. It has always existed. Just this is called COVID-19. So from eating animals that God says don't eat, with a COVID, it has always been around. You can look it
Correct.
up. In West Africa, many of those tribes that eat what is called a bush meat, they have COVID-9. Look, research it. So the whole COVID isn't, it's not new. It's always been around. Just that this is COVID-19. That's all. That's all. What it is, and you get it the same way by eating unlawful animals. That is the root of it. But this is just a stronger version of it. That's all. Read on.
Correct. Or that Bill Gates uses the virus to enslave humanity by enforcing a global vaccination and surveillance program.
And that's ridiculous, man. Let me tell you something. When it comes to a Bill Gates, he's not a president. The
Correct.
Bill Gates is just a rich man with like a Bill Gates. He doesn't own America. He's just a rich man that runs Microsoft. Listen, man. You know what I mean? He makes a nice Xbox S series, man. That's all he does, man. He makes Windows. A Bill Gates. That's all he does. And then now for someone to take his name, man, he's trying to rule the world. Him. He's nobody, man. All he is just a rich man that makes software,
Correct.
makes Xboxes, man, makes Windows, and now all of a sudden he's using 5G. You know how dumb that sounds. A, when it comes to a Bill Gates, he doesn't own 5G.
Right.
Bill Gates is not the inventor of 5G anyway. So even that there doesn't even make any sense. Read on.
Con. Even even though most of these stories were quickly debunked and proven untrue, the pervasiveness of misinformation and conspiracy theories on social media and in the news cycle has led the director slash general of the World Health Organization (WHO) to warn that we're not just fighting an epidemic, we're fighting an infodemic. Fake
Okay,
news. It's like,
then no sweat. We've read enough on that. But
okay.
what is the point in being made that listen, you believing in them lies, it is damaging your health.
Mm,
You believing in those lies, it's hurting you. It's making you anxious, depressed because you don't know what to do. The Illuminati is gonna kill us. What are we gonna do? And it's making people sad. The vaccine, what are we gonna do? And those things bring sadness.
alright.
And guess what? You don't need to be sad. You don't have to, because it was a lie anyway. So let's get in the Bible. Let's get wisdom of Sir Solomon, Sir 17 and 12. And we're going to show you something, man. That in the Bible, King Sir Solomon, in his time, was the wisest man. And for those who are afraid, he's gonna let you know why you are afraid.
Correct.
He's gonna break down why. Why are people so afraid? We are gonna find out when we read this precept right here, man.
So it's Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 and verse 12. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth.
All right. So now, can anyone break that down, or does anyone on the sedande?
Salakia, can it be read again?
Yep. Go ahead.
Verse 12. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth.
Sakuras, Salakia. What's the Sakuras? Is that
I
is a
believe that's
betrayal of the mind or something, Salakia?
No, no, no. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna look up the word. So can
Can't.
someone look at that word occurs, and we're
the
gonna
word
find out what it means.
I looked up succurs. Succor, assistance and support in times of hardship and distress.
Okay, so now we know what that means. So read that verse one more time, and let's see if we can break it down.
For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth.
All right. So now, what does this verse mean, man?
If I could,
Yeah.
so essentially, say a problem arises, and then reason is provided to why the problem is happening. That provides you with kind of aid because you understand why something's happening. You understand kind of how to maybe how to prevent it or mitigate sort of the impact. So fear is just essentially going against reason, and just kind of betraying that and just inflicting yourself with anxiety, because you just won't listen to reason, and won't accept the help, kind of basically.
Give that hand. That is it right there. That's why you're afraid. You mean you are afraid because you're betraying what can help you?
Right.
It can help you, but you're afraid because you are denying that help. You mean you rather believe in Illuminati, this and that, instead of going, you know what, that vaccine can help me, that can occur me, that can help me in a hard time, but you betray that, and that's why you're afraid. You're afraid because you betray what can help you. You betray what is in front of your eyes. That listen, I need that, man. You know what? That information isn't true. You become afraid when you believe and take on lies, man. And that's what this verse is saying. You get afraid when you betray what can help you. When you betray facts, that's why you're afraid. While as if you face facts, you would never be afraid.
Right.
If you didn't betray what can help you, you would never be afraid. You'll be like, you know what? That can help me. I'm doing that, man. That vaccine can help me. I'm going for it, man. And that's the problem. When you're afraid, you deny the very things that can help you, that it can help you, and you wouldn't be afraid. And that's what fear does, man. Fear takes away logical thinking. When you're afraid, you don't do things which are natural. It's normal. Let me tell you something. In everyday life, you don't believe everybody. That's life. No one can't just come to you and go, you know what? Do you know this, this, and that? You go, no. Who are you? But when you're afraid, now you'll believe everybody.
That's
Now
right.
you'll believe everyone on YouTube. You know, Alex Jones said this. Alex Jones talks about in the water there's a fluoride and you can't drink tap water because tap water is bad for you. You mean why? Because you're afraid. And with being afraid, you don't think logically. First off, who are you? You don't work for Sir Evan Trent. Who are you? You don't work for no a water a company, but all of a sudden, you know what's in the water. Don't drink that water, man. Buy the bottled water. Buy this filter, that filter. When
Mm.
you know what is ridiculous about that? The water in your tap it is filtered already, man. It's
Right.
filtered or it's filtered already. And what you're buying your filter? Listen, you're wasting your money, man. You being afraid is making you anxious about the water that you drink, man. It's got you spending £100 on all these water filters that you don't even need, man. But yeah, man,
Come
you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? You're on Amazon buying this big tank, you know what I mean? And you don't even need it, man. Yeah, man, this tank here takes all the fluoride out of it. Fluoride is bad for you, man. Damages your joints and does this and that. Like, yeah, right, man. You wasted you're wasting money and you never had to do it anyway. Why? Because you're afraid. And when you're afraid, you don't think logically. Water is filtered already, man. It's filtered already. But when you're afraid, now I need a water filter because the government's trying to get me. They want the fluoride in my body so that you know what I mean. They can control my mind or all
Right.
that nonsense, and that's the problem. Read that verse one more time.
Another one, 17 verse 12. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth.
And there you go. So with King Solomon right here, he's letting you know why people are so afraid because they betray what can help him. What can help him? They're afraid of it, and that's why they're afraid. Before they face facts and go, you know what? Nah, this is nonsense. I'm not letting this ruin my life. They are afraid of it, and they betray themselves knowing what can help him. It's like you'll meet someone, they like to get a drunk, and they're afraid before they realize, you know what? Listen, I should not drive because they're afraid. I can drive. Yes, I can. I'm fine, thank you. Why? Because you're afraid of what can help you. You are afraid of your friends saying, "Listen, you ain't driving no car, man. You're
Right.
gonna sit down and stay in the house, man. And then when you wake up in the morning, then you're gonna drive. But when you're afraid, you never want what can help you, and
Right.
that's where and now that's what fear is you being afraid of what can help you and facing it. Let's get Isaiah 51 and 12.
And Salakia, sir, if I could,
Yeah,
the Lord tells us not to fear in the scriptures because of these things anyway. You know what I mean?
there you go. There you go. There you go, man. And we're gonna get to that as well. But yeah, let's get Isaiah 51 and 12.
Isaiah 51, verse 12. I, even I, am he that comforteth you. Who art thou that thou shouldest be afraid of man that shall die?
All right, so now the Lord He's let us know that I am He that comforteth you. Who art thou that thou should be afraid of a man that shall die? Meaning, listen, like if you believe in me, then why are you afraid of a man that shall die? You mean everyone's afraid of the Illuminati? You are aware that those families, they're men and they're going to die one day. You're aware that on the article we read about Bill Gates, you are aware that he's a man that will die, and you're so afraid of him. Bill Gates made 5G internet, which he did not, by the way.
Right.
But people are afraid of man, and here's the problem: when you become afraid of man, you lose fear for the Lord, and that's what people don't get, man. When you start to fear a man, your fear of the Lord it diminishes, it goes
Right.
down. And for those of you online putting duct tape on your webcams and over the speakers on your laptop, you ain't afraid of the Lord, man.
Mm.
While you're afraid of who's listening in or who's watching you on your laptop, you're not afraid to get high. You're not afraid to have sex with escorts. But all of a sudden, they're watching me. You know what I mean? And they put some duct tape over their webcam. You fear man, and you don't fear the Lord, man. You don't change your life, but though when it comes to them, you do everything, man. When you're in your house, you switch off your phone, take out the SIM card, you do this, this, and that. But then when it comes to what the Lord wants, you do none of it, man. Do you want to know why? Because you are afraid of man and you're not afraid of the Lord, man. You're not afraid of God. Read on.
Quran Khan. And of the Son of Man which shall die, which shall be made grass.
And there you go, man. And the Son of Man, which shall die and shall be made as grass, man. Meaning what? He dies and his flesh withers, man. And you're afraid of a man like that, man. You are afraid of a man. Guess what? He's gonna die just like you, man. And you're afraid of him. You know what I mean? Afraid of his vaccines, afraid of his medicine, afraid of his technology, and you're afraid of him and not afraid of the Lord. Shalom, brother. How you doing? And that's the problem, man. You fear man and you don't fear the Lord. That's why you're online listening to everything. You know what I mean? The new world order. What are we gonna do? Why? Because you fear man and you don't fear God. Read on.
Khan. Quran Khan. And forgettest the Lord thy maker.
There you go, man. And when you're afraid of man, you forget the Lord, your maker, man. When you're online looking at the Illuminati, you forget God, man. When you're so afraid of what they're going to do, allegedly, you forget the Lord, man. While you're the new world order, well, what are we gonna do? You forget about God, man. How about you think about the power of the God of Israel, man? How
Right.
about you read the book of Exodus and go, listen, I don't care what they're doing, man. If I'm on the side of the Lord, nobody's harming me, man.
That's
If
right.
if I serve the Lord and do everything right, listen, who cares who they are, man? Who cares about these elite families? Listen, man, I'm serving the God of Israel, man. Nobody's harming me. But guess what? You're afraid of them more than you are afraid of the Lord. And that's why all your emphasis is on the internet. You know what I mean? I gotta look up New World Order, man. I gotta look up 5G internet, man, and see what they're doing. Because you're not really afraid of God, man. Read on.
It's like you said.
Yeah, go ahead.
These guys just sound like people that get high, you know, like they smoke weed all day, right? And their thoughts are playing with them while they're smoking the weed, and then they start to go into some dimensions about, you know, oh, let me check out this or let me check out that. It's the ganja, man, that's mashing them up. It's lucky, if I couldn't.
Absolutely, man. A lot of what you see on the internet is weed talk, man. You know,
Mm.
the government's out to ag- 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 get us for what? Get
Cool.
you for what, man? You know what I mean? And I said this before, and I said this before, and I will say this again. Why is the government listening on your phone? What have you got to say that is so MI6 has to listen to you? Like, yeah, man, yeah, we got to listen to him. MI6 listen about Mr. Gordon. You ain't paid the electric bill last month. What
Cool.
happened, man? Yo, come on, really? The Illuminati just gotta listen to your phone and hear that every month. Listen, man, it's not that deep. There's nothing going on in your life that the Illuminati needs to zoom in on you, man.
Mm.
That is nonsense. And if you
Mm.
start getting high and you think about it, you go, well, why me? Why does
Right.
government want to listen to me through my laptop? Come on, what have I got going on that is so great? They gotta listen through my laptop when I'm in my house. I've got something to say that they gotta go. You know what? We gotta bug his laptop. Listen, that doesn't happen, man. And because so many people believe in those things, they become afraid, and it's sad when you conversate with them, bag of fear. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna get us. And you know what I mean? What are we gonna do? And you know what I mean? If we don't do this, we're all dead. And what's wrong with you, man? It's a theory. It's not a fact. Even in the wording, a theory is not a fact.
Con.
So you know what I mean? You can't believe in something that's not even true. It's a theory, meaning it's someone's opinion, not based on facts. That's what a theory is. So the New World Order, vaccine scandals, those are theories. They're not facts. There's no valid a paperwork to validate none of it.
And Salaki, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
And just one other thing, just to add to that as well, sir, is um is the fact that a lot of our people are selling drugs, right, and doing things wrong, and they think that they need to, like you say, cover up the computer, right, or they have to lock the doors, and police are going to get me. Well, they know one day, they know that they're doing wrong. It's part of their conscience as well. Salakia is why they got the fear, and they know they're doing wrong, and it's just a matter of time before they get, what I mean, caught, and that's part of the fear as well, knowing that they're doing wrong
Shalom.
and
Shalom.
continuing it, shalom, and continuing it and not serving God, and they know in their hearts of hearts they shouldn't be doing it. Salakia.
Absolutely, man. And that's why in here we focus on doing the right thing, man.
Right.
When you do the right thing, you ain't afraid of nothing, man. But
Con.
here's the thing: when you're not doing the right thing, you should be afraid. You should, man. If you don't serve the Lord, you should be afraid, man. If you don't serve the Lord, you should be afraid of vaccines.
That's right.
If you don't serve the Lord, you should be afraid of the Illuminati, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't serve the Lord, you should be afraid of 5G internet. You should be, man. But guess what? If you are coming near, don't worry about nothing, man. You focus on doing things that will make you live. Read on.
Salaki, sir, if I may,
Yeah,
then,
yeah, go
because
on.
I was listening to you a moment back there, and I don't know if people know that in order to block someone's laptop or phone, that requires like an agent to do such a thing, and the agent needs to be paid, and the agent need to get a lot of information. The point of what I'm saying, it costs a lot of money to do things like that, a lot of money and time. So if you think that you are so worthy of so much money and time, then I might suggest you to think it over again.
There, there you go. Listen. You know what I mean? What you said there was so right. Even to do things like that, it's expensive. And what the government's doing that to everybody on the planet, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? For someone to put a bug in your a laptop to watch you and to hear every conversation you have, that is expensive. And the government just happens to do it to everyone. That's nonsense. And if you start being afraid, you would think about it and go, that don't even make sense, man. Even with people about the mark of the beast being a chip, do you know that those things are expensive? It's not cheap. And allegedly, according to what they say, the government's going to do that to everybody. Let me tell you something. There's some countries, they're poor, man. They're broke. You know what I mean? They don't even have a cash point. And I'm not making it up. They don't have a cash point. They're not micro chipping anybody, man. But here's the thing: if you stop being afraid, you think about it, and then it makes sense. But while you're afraid, you don't think straight, and you believe in something that isn't even there. Read on.
Quran Khan, and forgettest the Lord thy maker, that have stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundation of the earth,
So now,
and
what's the
has
point? So I'll break it down. So, what's the point of this verse right here? While you're so afraid of man, you forget the Lord, your maker, who made the heavens and the earth, man. The same earth you're on, there's a maker. And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, your God is that maker. And then you're afraid of a man. You become afraid of Illuminatis and things that ain't even true. Nah, man. How about you fear the God that made the heavens, man? How about you serve Him instead of worrying about YouTube all the time? Because on that video, they said this. They said they bug your laptop and your camera. No, they don't, man. They don't listen. The government don't care about your rent arrears, man. They're not on your phone hearing every month. Yeah, we ain't received payment. Come on, you know what I mean? They're gonna spend all that money on a bug in your phone to hear that every month. Really, really. You know what I mean? Mr. Gordon, you know what I mean? You ain't paid the gas bill, you ain't paid the electric bill, and the Illuminati just wants to hear that every week. They're, in some hidden place like, Mr. Gordon, you ain't paid the electric bill. Okay, we got him. Click. Really, really, really.
Got him, boys.
Come on now, you know what I mean? Really, you gotta stop getting high. You know what I mean? When you stop, you know what I mean? Once the weed wears off and those things, then things make sense. Why are you high? The government spying on me for what? For what? What have you got that the government needs to bug your phone, man?
Right.
What have you got that the camera's just always watching you, man? Nothing. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? When it comes to believing in lies, it's making you believe things that are not even there, man. As what we read in the article we brought out, people that believe in these things, they are depressed. Why? Because they're believing in lies. The government's going to kill me. I can't take this. I can't drink this. I can't eat that. And it makes you depressed. Your way of living, it becomes sad because you're afraid of things that ain't even there. And that's what the article even brought out. It is damaging people's mental health, and it's misinformation.
Right.
Misinformation is making your life miserable, man. Misinformation is making people die every day, and they never had to. They could have took the vaccine, man, but no, I can't take that, man. And now you're dead. You're dead because you didn't want to take a vaccine because you was misinformed. I can't do this. I can't eat that because in the food they're injecting it with this, and that. And let me tell you something. Yes, some food is a GMO, but it's not a purposely GMO to harm you. It's a business. It's GMO so that what they can make money off it. It can reproduce faster. They don't. All right. They don't make food like that because they want to harm you. They make it like that so that they can make money. It can reproduce faster. You are not the emphasis on the food that is a GMO. They're not making like you mean like okay in your mind. You watch action films, sci-fi films, and in your mind there's some there's some madman in some lab, like, ha 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 ha, and he's injecting the food. That's what that's what your mind's telling you, and that's not the case. A GMO is just genetically modified to make it bigger, to make it grow faster than it naturally would. Yes, please, yeah. That's what a GMO is. No one's making some food to purposely harm you. It's made so that, remember, it's a business. They need more oranges, apples, tomatoes, bigger, succulent. That's what the GMO is. The GMO ain't to damage your health. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? You're not even thinking, why would they want to harm you? They don't care about you. Their business is making apples, and they want to make them a faster, bigger, juicier. That's what that's what the GMO is. They're not messing with it to harm your health, and that's the problem.
Salagi, sir.
1 second, that's the problem.
Gone, sir.
When you're high, you know what I mean? You're down in your chair, the world's spinning, and you think it's all about you. When you're high, you think the lens is on you. The government don't want to get me. You know what I mean? And that's not the case, man. Ira, you had something?
Gone, sir. Yeah, first point. On top of it, they making the apples like that so you can buy it. If they killing you, they can you can buy it no more.
There you go. And there
but
you go. Yeah, good.
But the thing is, yeah, we was laughing about those things back there, and yeah, it came to me like, it's actually sad, because there is a lot of brothers and sisters that actually things like this, and those things definitely plague on their head. Yeah, me myself at the time also, yeah, I wasn't such a heavy in it, but. Those thoughts they were in my mind also, and I did saw one of two YouTube films and documentaries, so yeah, it's actually sad that because I was laughing, and afterwards I think there's actually something sad because a lot of us brothers are in there, and we need to wake them up from that instead of like kind of laughing at them.
There you go. No, no. And you know something? I shouldn't say it, but in the world, I was like that too, man. I remember going on the internet again, you know what I mean? And everyone's got
Hmm.
these alleged facts about the government and your food and vaccines, and none of it was true. And let me tell you something, in the world, I was afraid, man. In the world, I was afraid I wouldn't eat this, I wouldn't drink this. And you know what I mean? It makes life so afraid. And like you can't live. And you know what's sad? You're living like that and you don't have to. It's not even true. If it was true, then so be it. But you're living like that because someone misinformed you, man.
Right.
You went online and heard someone's theory, not their fact, heard their theory, man, and you made your life uncomfortable by their theory. Read on.
So like sir, if I could,
Yeah, good.
we're fearing the wrong things. You know, we should be fearing eating pork and
That's
bacon
right.
sandwiches, right? And killing your brother and teething on the street. That's what you should be fearing, because the scripture says something about, you know um the something about the prison warden or the officers, um don't bear the sword in vain when you do something wrong. You know what I mean? So, our people are just going out there doing certain things, and you know not fearing, the laws that they should be following, and
There you go. Yeah,
fearing conspiracy theories, which is a load of BS, if you ask me.
yeah. Absolutely.
Mm.
And then what is ridiculous about it? We're gonna get back in the a Bible. What is ridiculous is you pick and choose what you want to be afraid of because they're afraid of the government Illuminati's, but you have a car, man. Why aren't you afraid to drive that a car? You know what I mean? In the car, there's many devices, there's many gadgets in the car, and guess what? You like all of them, man.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you noticed this. In your car, when you turn left and right, you can do it and you don't and it's and like sorry, you can do it and like the wheel is very light in it. But I mean, in your car, you like that. You're like, listen, I don't believe in anything. You're not turning the wheel left and right, and you turn the power dear enough. You like that gadget, but also that's man-made too, man. You pick and choose what you like,
Mm.
and then you pick and choose what you're afraid of. And let me tell you
Mm.
something: if you serve the Lord, you're gonna know all of this is nonsense, man.
All right.
God,
All of what you hear is misinformation. It's not true.
Mhm.
All right,
God. So, like I said, if I could,
yeah, go ahead.
just a quick one to add to what you were saying as well. Like, even with this whole, remember when everyone was talking about the 5G, and the 5G was gonna kill everyone. They're building the towers and everything during the lockdown, and everyone's gonna die and get radiation and die or whatever. So
Hmm.
we're here right now. The 5G didn't done nothing to nobody. So lucky.
There you go. And you know what's
Mm.
sad about that? No one
Right.
doesn't even talk about 5G anymore now. At
Right.
one point, at one point, that was the hot topic. Now, listen, man, those 5G phones, and now everyone has one.
Right.
If you notice,
Be
and if you
that shit.
notice, nobody ain't saying nothing anymore. Why?
Cause
Because it's a lie.
Right.
All those 5G people that were afraid, they have 5G phones.
Mm.
Any phone you got now is working off 5G, or it's a 4G add one, which is basically 5G. You know what I
right.
mean? You ain't saying nothing now, but at one point in time now, man, that 5G man, it's killing people. The COVID. Now you're not saying nothing, which shows you that these things dwindle away, man. What people are afraid of now, if you give it 5 years time, they're gonna be afraid of something else, man.
Right.
Cause
One day this is gonna just fade away, and then there's gonna be something else they're afraid of, and that's what happens. It just bounces on from the next thing to the next thing, man. All right, no sweat. Let's read on in Isaiah.
Karawan Khan, that stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundation of the earth, and has feared continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor, as if
And there,
he were ready to destroy Salakia.
and there you go. And what is this verse all about? That really we are afraid of the white man. I was
right.
making, but that's what this verse is saying. You're afraid of him, and with you being afraid of him, you're not afraid of the Lord. While the Lord made the heavens and the earth, you're afraid of him, man. Your focus, your emphasis is on him and what he's doing or what you think he's doing, but you don't fear the Lord, your maker. And guess what? In the time of Isaiah, it applies even till this day, man. If you're afraid of a oppressor, you're not afraid of the Lord, man. While you're occupied on what you think he's doing, what you should be doing is focusing on the Lord, man. What you should be doing is fearing the God of Israel, going, listen, if I serve him, my life will get better.
That's
Right.
right.
If I do what he says, maybe I will get change. But no one does that. Everyone focuses on the old oppressor, the Illuminati, man, the vaccines, the water, the fluoride, and you don't fear your God. And that's what it really comes down to. All right, let's get the next verse. Let me get it. Let's get
Salakia,
Ezekiel.
Salakia, sir, if I could,
Yeah,
on this,
go ahead.
just one more bit on this last one here. What shouts out to me on this part of the scripture is, you know what I mean? The Lord created the foundations of the earth, right? And is feared continually. But what brothers and sisters are failing to look at is God created the white man to do these things. You understand? So when the white man's doing all these things to people and creating certain fears, the Lord has put him there to do his job. You understand? And if you fear God, you'll understand that, you know what I mean, he won't direct these kind of things towards you anyway, if you're doing what's right. So like, yeah, that was just to add to that little bit there.
I got you. No sweat. Let's get Ezekiel
Hmm.
20 and 11. Ezekiel 20 and 11.
Ezekiel's at the 20 in verse 11. And I gave them my statutes and showed them my judgments.
Read on.
And and showed them my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them.
And there you go, man. With the Most High, he said, if we follow his laws, we shall live in them, man. Meaning what? If you do what the Lord wants, you are going to live, man. If you stick to the guidelines of God, you will live. If you do it, you will live in them, man. Meaning, if you do what God wants, you're going to live, man. And guess what? That's where your mind should be, man. Your mind should be, you know what? I want to live, man. How about I do what God wants? And if I do it, I shall live in it, man. While I'm applying it, while I'm doing it, I'm going to live. And that's the real emphasis of life, man. Of course, listen, in the UPK, we know many things, man. We are fully aware of what is going on around us. But our emphasis is on obedience to the Lord, man.
That's right.
Because if you do what God wants,
Yeah.
you're going to live, man.
Right.
You will live. And that's what we focus on right here. Listen, in the UPK, we know many things. I mean, we got tons of books. Let me tell you something. Many people watch us, and I don't know why. They think we don't know. They think we don't know anything. They think, nah, man, they ain't read that book there. They ain't read this. They ain't read that. Listen, we got libraries in the school, all throughout the UPKs in um, England, America, DC, Harlem. We got libraries, man. Listen, we read many things, and even with reading so many things, we know that serving the Lord is above all of it, man.
That's
Right.
right.
That's
That's
right.
why in the UPK, we got history. You know what I mean? And I know what some people think, in the UPK, they don't read history books. All they read is the Bible. And you're right. We do read the Bible, and we got tons of history books, man. Anything we say, we got history to back it, man.
That's right.
Archaeology books, all of that, man. Because you know what I mean? I've been online, and I know what some of you lot think, man. And you're wrong, man. You're wrong. You know what I mean? We have debates and beat all of you anyway. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? While you're looking at us like, them guys don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. And in them same books that you read, we show you the next page in that same
Right.
book. I've done it numerous times. There's a video on the ends. Who remembers that weirdo talking about we the Ashanti tribe? You
God.
know what I mean? Right now, imagine this. He put out a book on me. He didn't read the book. I read it. It's funny. You know what I mean? If you watch the video, he's holding a book like, look, man, I've got something here. So I put out the same book. I showed him that, listen, we're not the that. You know what I mean? We ain't the Ashanti tribe. We was
Right.
living among them in the same book he had. And that's the problem. While you think, you know what I mean, these brothers don't know anything, we do. And we
That's
show
right.
you that we do and you don't numerous times, many times.
That's
We're not
right.
the Ashanti tribe. We're not the Igbo tribe. We ain't
Right.
none of that, man. And I had to embarrass him on the end. You know what I mean? I didn't want
God.
to do it. I didn't want to do it, but he was harassing me. So, kid you not, the guy was phoning me every day. I wanted to debate you on that. UPK, you lot are liars. I didn't want to do it, man. But I was backed up and was like, you know what? I got to give it to him, man. I gave it to him, man.
Praise God.
What's that song? Baby, if you give it to me, I
I
give it to you.
give it to you.
I had to give it to him. I had to give it to him like that. I had to give it to him, man. You know what I mean? And guess what? Guess what? He asked for it, man. And
God.
guess what? He put out a
He
book
got it.
and they never even read it, man. I gave it to him like Mariah Carey and Busta Rhymes, man. You know what I mean? I gave it to him, man. And guess what? He put out a book. I had the book too. And guess what? I had to show him in the book where he was wrong.
Right.
And guess what? He thinks that because many people assume we just read a Bible, and he was wrong. So anything here, you know what I mean? We read many things, but we focus on what matters the most, man.
Right.
And what matters the most?
Right.
Your obedience to your God, man.
God.
Read that one more time. Ezekiel 20:11.
God, Slacker. And I gave them my statutes and showed them my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them.
And there you go. If you do what the Lord says, you shall live in it, man. You're gonna have life in it. You focus on the Illuminati. There's no life in that, man. You focusing, you know what I mean, occupying all your time on things that ain't even happening. There's no life in that.
Right.
If anything, it makes you afraid. It makes you depressed, as what we read. It makes you anxious. But there's no life in those things. So, okay then. If what you're saying is true, then what should we do then? If we're just reading the Bible and going through laws and believing that there's a God that is going to redeem us, if you're saying we are wrong, you believe in, don't drink the water, don't eat this food, don't eat that, then what should we do then? And if you notice, none of them don't know.
That's right.
They don't
That's
say
right.
anything. All they do is leave it in the dark. The government wants us all dead. What should we do? We don't know. And the gunman, you know what I mean?
Cause
They've just left. You know what I mean? They've just left you in the dark, afraid. And now what? That's not life.
Salakia, sir, if I could,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it's what you're saying is so heavy, man, because you know what, it's the truth, man. Like, listen, these people online, they'll run them out talking about this is wrong, but they never have a solution. Meanwhile, we look at the issues within our community in the UPK, and we give you the solution. We give you the what's wrong and give you the problem, so I can give you the solution to the problem. But these people right here, man, they'll just smoke their weed and take all manners of drugs and damage themselves and destroy themselves, and they will just say something's wrong and they'll not have a solution. They'll say you shouldn't do this, but then you've taken that from me. What should you do? What should we do with our lives? That's the problem with our community, man. They ain't bringing no solution, but the only true solution is up in UPK under command Johnny Hunter, man. So like,
That's right, man.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
You know what I mean? In here, we give life, man. You mean in here, we actually help you. We actually do something about it. We don't make you afraid and just leave you. You know what I mean? The government will want you dead, and there's nothing you can do. So then, why even mention it then?
right?
You know what I mean? Now you've got someone afraid, and you can't even help them. While as in here, we help you, man. In here, you know what I mean? We talk about it, and we do it for you, man. We live it, man. All right, let's get Jeremiah 6 and 16.
Jeremiah 6 and 15.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 15. Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? Nay,
All
they
right.
were not at all ashamed.
Okay, so now let's break it down, man. The Lord saying, when we committed abominations, we wasn't ashamed, man. We done things that the Lord said don't do, and we wasn't even ashamed about it. Now, why am I going here? While we are afraid of the Illuminati, there's sins we do every day, and we're not even ashamed, man.
Right.
The New World Order,
Right.
and you're a weedhead. In the Bible, that is a sin, and no one's ashamed of that. While everyone's got this deep knowledge of the government, and you know what I mean. Listen, I know what's going on, man. No one can lie to me. But you're doing abominations, and there's no shame on that, man. Or that
Right.
synthetic weed. Listen, man, that's gonna take your life. You're afraid of a vaccine. Synthetic weed is gonna be your demise, man. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. The abominations that we do, no one thinks about that. But then we're afraid of other things. Read on.
Another one can. Nay, there could they blush. Therefore they shall fall among they shall fall among them that fall. At the time that I visit them, they shall be cast down, said the Lord.
And there you go. The Lord saying, because we don't repent, we're going to be a people that are cast down, man. Cast down in Handsworth, cast down wherever we are, Manchester, Leicester, London. We are a people that are cast down. Why? Because we don't want to stop our abominations, man. That's the problem.
That's right.
Not the new world orders and things like that. Our problem is we don't want to leave these abominations, man.
Right.
Our problem is we need to live better. Our problem is, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we need to do better. That's the problem. And the Lord said, because we don't, that's why we are cast down. That's the answer right there, man. That's the answer.
Right.
And guess what? You can take this answer to the four corners of the earth, man. You can walk all up and down Handsworth, and let blacks and Hispanics know, listen, we are cast down because we don't want to leave these abominations, man. In the
Right.
UPK, you mean we 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 don't say God is against us. So what should we do? I don't know. You know what I mean? In here we give you answers, man.
That's right.
Listen, if we leave those abominations alone, the same way we are cast down right now, we can be lifted up, man.
That's right.
We
Right.
don't just we don't just leave you in the dark afraid, like, well, what am I gonna do? So you know what I mean? I can't drink this water. On the back, it says it's got this, like, you know what I mean? That's fear. How can a man live like in that, man? You know what I mean? How can you live? You can't. But you know what I mean? Always believing there's some camera watching you, there's some webcam watching you everywhere you go. You know what I mean? You can't eat this, you can't drink that. That's not life, man.
Right.
And then the abominations, no one thinks about that. In the UPK, we give you an answer, and the answer is changing you, man. The answer is following
Right.
your God and being risen up and not being cast down. Reader.
Another one can. Verse 16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the way, and see, and ask for the old path.
And there you
Where
go.
is the
Starkey, so I'll break this part down first. So remember, as a nation, we are cast down. Then now the Lord says, stand in the way and see, meaning what? Look around, man. And ask for the old path. And
Right.
just look around, man. Look around. Everyone that believes in all these things online, they're miserable and afraid, man. Just see.
That's right.
And we've seen that. Ask for the old path. So you know what? Listen, I don't want to hear none of that, man. I want to go back to the old path. I want to serve the God of Israel, man.
That's right.
I'm looking around. People just are bugged out. You mean I would walk over there, but there's a camera. You know what I mean? They're watching you. Listen, man, I can't live like that, man.
Right.
Stop it,
I'm
stop.
sorry. Listen, if you want to live like that, that's up to you. But for me, I want to serve the Lord and have life, man. I cannot live like that. You know what I mean? I gotta watch out for this and that. And you know what I mean? When I'm on the phone, I don't say my name because I don't want them to know that it's me on the phone. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, man? Live. And the Bible says, ask for the old path. Why? Because we see what this does, and it makes people afraid and scared, man. It makes you afraid to live. And guess what? The Lord gave you life to live it, man. You are alive to be with people, have love, live, man. And all that just makes you an afraid human being. Live. Read on.
And ye shall find rest for your soul.
And there you go, man. When you serve the Lord, you will find rest for your soul. You're gonna find rest. You're not gonna be afraid of what they say on the internet. You're gonna have rest. Like, listen, man, I don't care about all that. I gotta serve the Lord. You mean you as a person, you're going to have rest. You're not gonna be afraid and all worried. You will have rest. Like, you know what? Listen, you know what I mean, that's what they say. But listen, I'ma serve the Lord, man.
Right.
I'm gonna do what
That's right.
I'm gonna do what the Most High says, and that's how you're gonna find rest for your soul. You're
Word.
not gonna be bugged out and afraid and doing things that are just so weird. Putting duct tape over your webcam on your laptop like someone's watching you. What you mean? Watching you do what? Run the rat out of the house and chase the mouse down the stairs. Do what, man? I mean, watching you on the webcam for what? You know what I mean? So what? They're watching you on the webcam. Then what? The electric goes. You're watching them. Come on, really, really. Saying you're
Oh,
not
good
realistic,
snack.
man. No one's watching you, man. Listen, in your house. Listen, don't duct tape your webcam. No one's watching you, man. Your webcam is made for what? When you're on the webcam interacting with someone, use it for what it's made for, man. Live, man. Live. Be on that webcam. Talk to your family. Talk to your friends, man. Live. Don't be afraid, man. Live, man. That's what life is made for. Living, man. Serving the Lord and living. You can't live like that, man. You can't live being afraid. You know what I mean? All those weirdos. You know what I mean? Well, I haven't got a license because they're gonna know my address. So you'll rather walk in the rain than drive. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? As a man, you got things that you know what I mean you need to do up and down, and you don't want to get a license because you believe that the government they're gonna find out where you live. That's not living, man. Live
Right.
while you are alive. Live. Read on.
Canada one can. But they said, we will not walk therein.
Read on.
Verse 17. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet.
All right.
But
So we're breaking down there, meaning the Lord saying, listen, you follow me, you're gonna have rest. But the people say we will not walk therein, man. The people like, nah, man, that man on YouTube, he broke it down good, man. He broke down the a new world order so well. I'm sorry, man. Nah, man. You know what I mean? That's the problem. The Lord shows you an answer every day, and no one listens. The Lord is telling us what we should do every day, and that gets ignored every day, man.
Right.
That gets ignored every day by weirdos, man. That gets ignored every day by people that are just afraid of living, man. Afraid to walk past the camera, afraid to use their phone.
So like,
You know what I mean? Afraid to do things that, guess what? It's gonna make your life easier. To Zapon, you had something?
so like the other one. Yeah. So someone sent me a clip of like, I don't know if you heard about it, but China's made a fake sun or some foolishness like that.
Huh?
You know, one of them where they sent you a clip, just some weird clip. Said China's made a fake sun. I don't know if you ever heard about that.
I have,
Anyone else?
but again, even that is not.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not a fact.
another one.
There's
Right.
no documentation. It's a video, and I bet you, with the link, it's linked to a YouTube in it. I bet you.
Facebook, one of them, Facebook or YouTube, one of them.
Facebook or YouTube, man. And you see, it's always the same thing. It's not fact, and then people adopt it like that's what's happening, and you're misinformed, man.
Right.
And you're living miserable. You're living afraid. You're living sad over something that isn't happening anyway, man. Read on.
so like
like
you, sir,
one.
if
Yeah,
I may pass on.
Yeah. Ira.
I know the other one is talking first, sir.
Oh, Saki. To Zapwan, you had something first?
Yeah. I just said basically Hollywood's got a film, films that it's basically like just like a film, you know what I mean? At the beginning of a film where they show the moon or some dumb stuff like that, you know what I mean? So that was it on that, yeah.
Absolutely, man. You can't live your life off Facebook and YouTube. That is not living, man. And the Lord wants us to live. All right, let's get the next precept in Psalms. I believe it's Psalms 108 or 109. Let me get it. And I want you to think about this, man. As we read this Psalms right here, look at your life and go, am I living? Or am I afraid, man? Let me get it. I believe it's Psalms 109. Matter of fact, it might be 108 actually. No, Psalms 104. My apologies, I'm all over the place. All right, Psalms 104 and verse. You can start from verse 6.
Because Psalm chapter
Um,
104 and verse 6. Thou coverest it with the deep as with a garment. The waters stood above the mountains.
Okay, so now in this Psalms right here, King David is talking about life and like the world. And as you read on, it's going to show you that life is made to be enjoyed, man. While you look at this a planet, the Lord made a great invention, man. Look at how life works. And you can't enjoy these things if you're afraid, man. You can't look at the deep and go on the beach and you know what I mean? You can't live and enjoy inventions of the Lord if you worship YouTube, man. You
Right.
just can't do it. Because why? Because you're gonna believe what if I'm on the beach, there's radiation on the sand, you know what I mean? Or some madness. You're not going to live. And in this Psalms, King David is talking about the wonderful works of the Most High, saying how wonderful it is. Why? Because life is meant to be lived, man. It's meant to be enjoyed, of course, with obedience
right.
to the Lord. You know what I mean? But life is meant to be enjoyed. And if you worship YouTube and Illuminati, New World Order, you're not living. You're afraid. And guess what? In this Psalms right here, King David is breaking down life, man. Read on.
Can't. The waters stood above the mountains. At thy rebuke they fled. At the voice of thy thunder they hasted away.
Uh-huh.
They go up by the mountains, they go down by the valleys unto the place which thou hast founded for them.
So now, what is King David talking about here, man? He's talking about with the waters of the earth, meaning the Most High. He said to where what the water just doesn't come on land, man. If you're on the beach, ask yourself this: why doesn't the water? You mean like why doesn't the water come all the way up? Why? Because the Lord don't want it to, man. Really, what is
Right.
preventing it? Unless there's a higher entity that says no, and that water
right.
obeys His word, man. And now, guess what? If you're afraid, you couldn't enjoy these things here, man. In this Psalms, King David is talking about life, man, enjoying it, just going around the world. Like, listen, man, look, why is it that the water just doesn't do it, man? You're talking about life and living, man, enjoying yourself. And if you're all tied down to, Illuminati stuff, you cannot enjoy life, man. You cannot reflect and go, you know what? The Lord is great, man. Look at how on the beach the water just stops there. You know what? I'm gonna serve that God, man. The God that has the power just to make water stop there, man. Why doesn't the water just come all the way up?
That's right.
Why? Because there's a higher entity that tells the water, no, stop there. Which is also in other verses in the Bible too. Read on.
Thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over, that they turn not again to cover the earth.
There you go, man. So you can use this verse right here. The Lord set a bound. That's why the water it seducts at a certain point, because the Lord set a bound like water. Stop there, man. That's the God I want to serve, man.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? I can't be afraid of the Illuminati, man. There's a God that has the power to stop water at a certain bound. I'd rather put my mind towards that.
Right.
Right.
I can't be afraid of cameras. Like, nah, man. They put a camera outside my house. The government's watching me. You know what I mean? I've duct my windows and all that crap. Listen, man, I can't live like that, man. I want to serve the God that sets waters at a bound, man. I want to live life. I want to see these things and enjoy it, man. I can't live being afraid. Reader.
Khan. He sendeth the springs into the valleys which run among the hills. They give drink to every beast of the field. The wild asses quench their thirst.
And listen, man, that is, you mean, what the Lord done is by design, man. You mean, all that water, animals just drink it, and it's there for them. The Lord looks after them. So let me ask you a question. If the Lord can provide water for the beast, how much more will the Lord look after you, man?
Khan, that's right.
The Lord set the earth up that these beasts just drink. Wherever they are, there's something to quench their thirst.
Right.
if the Lord looks after beast, how much more will the Lord look after you if you obey him, man? And you're afraid of the Illuminati, man. You're afraid of your webcams, your microphones, your phones. You know what I mean? Listen, man. Serve the Lord that looks after the beast, man.
Right.
If the Lord is looking after cows and sheep, surely the Lord will look after you, man.
Good.
Reader.
That's right.
By them shall the fowls of the heaven have their habitation, which sing among the branches.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
He watereth the hills from his chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of thy works.
Uh-huh.
He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle, and the herb for the service of man.
And there you go now. This is the verse here, man. He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle. Meaning what? What the Lord does is by design, man. The grass is here for
that's
those sheep, man. You mean the Lord is providing for everyone. How much more will the Lord provide for you, man?
Right.
Now remember
that's
what King David's writing here. He's writing about life. Why? Because King David's living, man. King David's not afraid. Why? He's not afraid of a camera. He's not afraid of vaccinations. King David's living and he's seeing the work of the Lord, man. Why? Because life is meant to be lived. And he's saying, look, man, when you live, you see how great the Lord is. If you're afraid of man, you don't see these things, man.
God.
You're afraid of cameras and
right.
this and that. Nobody focuses on this part, man. How great the Lord is. The Lord makes grass for them sheep, man, and herbs for the a service of man. What's that?
Right.
Medicine, man. You know what I mean? Even
That's
if you
right.
get medicine from the NHS, have you ever read the back of the box? Has you know what I mean?
Right.
If you look at the back of the box, it's herbs. Read it.
Come.
You mean what do people say? The NHS, their medicine's evil. It's gonna kill you. Have you ever read the back of the box? It's got ginseng in it, man. All these seeds grinded down. Why? Because herbs is for the service of man, and even the white man knows it. That's why
right.
in his medicine, if you ever took time out and read the back of it, it's got herbs in it. You mean because what do people like say? The NHS medicine, no, no, no. But it's got herbs. So you say, I don't take that. I have herbs. But on the but though, with the medicine they have, it's got herbs in it too. So how does that work? You mean me? I'm a herbalist. Yeah, but with the NHS, their medicine has herbs too. So what's the difference? Well, what you know what I mean? What are you doing that they're not doing? And that's the problem. All those people on the internet, the NHS medicine's evil. Have you ever read the back of the box? No, you haven't in it. Never. Now, if you would have read it, you would have knew it was a lie, man. The government ain't got this plan to kill you, man. Get over yourself. You mean what are you doing that is so great that guess what? You mean in 10 a Downing Street, you're the point of life, man. A Boris a Johnson's talking about you in Handsworth. Yeah, man, we need to get him that lives on 198 such and such road. We gotta get him, man. We got the camera on his house. You know what I mean? He's got something going on so great, really. Let me tell you something. It sounds bad. Boris Johnson don't care about you, man. Just like how Boris Johnson don't care about me, man. Yes, we're in England, poor, suffering, absolutely. But listen, you know what I mean? All those things online, they're not true, man. If you look at the back of any a medicine, it's got herbs in it, seeds in it that are grinded down. Look at it. And that's all what you had to do. Read on.
And the herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth.
And there you go. So of course, with them herbs, it can bring food out of the earth too, man. All these things are made on the earth for you, man. And guess what? If you're living a lifestyle where you're always afraid, you will never enjoy these things, man.
Right.
You will never see these things and go, you know what? The Lord is great, man. You're going to be so afraid that you can't live. And let me tell you something. In the Bible, King David was a man that lived. That's why we're reading these Psalms right now, man. If you're afraid, you can't experience these things right here. You're going to be so afraid. I can't drink the water. I can't go shop and buy this. I can't do this. You're afraid and you can't live. Meanwhile, in this Psalms right here, we are reading about a man that lived, man. Reader.
Quran. And wine that maketh glad the heart of man.
And there you go. And guess what? Wine is on the earth for you to drink and enjoy, man. Wine makes your heart glad. What's your heart, your mind, man? You had a bad day. That wine will make you happy, man. Listen, man. The Lord put things on the earth for you, man. And don't let some internet idiot, you know what I mean, take that away, man. What is on the earth is for your enjoyment, man. Herbs was made for you. Vaccines, you know what I mean? Those things are made for you, man. It's made for you to live. And don't let no one take that from you, man. All these things on the earth is made for you to live. And don't let no one on the internet take away your life, man. If they're afraid, make them be afraid alone, but don't make it be you, man. On this earth, you fight to live and enjoy this life, man. And why? Because the Lord put all these things here for you, man. And live. While you are alive now, live, man. Don't make a weirdo make you afraid that you're not living, man. So now wine makes man glad. Drink it, man. If you want to, of course. There's no mandatory rule that says you must drink. But guess what? It's here, man. Even in the mosque, you know what I mean? They love to say what? That with wine is bad for you. That is wrong. Listen, man. King David said God put wine on the earth to make you happy, man.
That's right.
The Lord wants you happy. The Lord doesn't want you afraid and sad and, you know what I mean, looking left and right about, you know what I mean, the Illuminati. The Lord wants you happy, man. He wants you living. And guess what? If you follow that way of life, you're not going to be happy. Read on.
Stuck that one.
Yeah, stop one.
Yeah, I just wanted to get a quick breakdown of, when you're ready, of course, Revelations 22.
Okay.
When
No
you
sweat.
finish that one. Yeah.
I got you. No sweat. We'll read on in the book of Psalms.
And oil to make his face to shine.
And there you go, man. The Bible is a black man's book, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean, that
That's right.
oil makes your face shine, man. All those butters, the cocoa butter, the olive oil. Listen, man, the Bible's a black man's book, man. The oil to make your face shine, man. God don't want you looking all white, chapped lip, you know what I mean? All that shit. You know what I mean? The Lord wants your face to shine, man. Look after yourself. The Lord put these things on the earth for you, man. And enjoy it and live it. And you know what I mean? If you worship YouTube, you ain't gonna live and you ain't going to live and enjoy these things. You're going to be afraid of what you eat, what you drink, where you are. You know what I mean? And that's not life, man. The Lord put so many things on the earth for you to enjoy and enjoy it, man. You know what I mean? The Lord even wants your face to shine, man. The Lord don't want you afraid. Well, you know, I would take this a cream, but they've mixed it with this and it'll damage my skin. Listen, man, grow up, man. You know what I mean? You sounding ridiculous, man. Put the oil on your skin, man. Gosh, you know what I mean? You're making life difficult when God wants your skin to shine, man. Meaning, the Lord is looking after you. You know what I mean? Take it, man. Stop living afraid. Read on. Yeah.
And stop living with a dry face. You know what I mean?
And that too, man. You know what I mean? live, man. Live. Especially in here, man. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm gonna tell you straight. It's not a rule, but I will make it a rule, man. You come in here, face shining, man. I mean, if you don't, you're gonna have to leave, man. It's a lucky, man. You know what I mean? Gonna just send you back, right? You know what I mean? But in here, we live life, man. And what the Lord put on the earth, enjoy it, man. Enjoy those herbs. take those medicines, man. It's for you. Read on.
Can't. And bread which strengtheneth man's heart.
And bread, man, food. The Lord put food on this earth for you to eat, man. How dare some weirdo tell you, don't eat that. Don't eat that. They put this in that. Piss off, man. Listen, man. I'm gonna eat, man. I'm going to Burger King. You know what I mean? I wouldn't eat that. In a KFC, that chicken. Listen, leave me alone, man. Listen, man. The Lord put food on the earth for man to eat. Eat it, man. Of course, if it's food that the Lord says don't eat, then don't, man. If it's pig, if it's ham sandwiches, no, man. But listen, if it's food that the Lord said you can eat it and enjoy it, man. Don't make some weirdo, in that chicken, they pump it with this. Listen, leave me alone, man. Listen, I'm going KFC and you're not stopping me, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Lord put food on the earth for you to eat, man. As what I said, people don't understand what a GMO is. A GMO ain't made to harm you. It's made for it's made for them. So what? They can make the food faster. You know what I mean? It's not made to harm you, so that the apple it can it can get nice and big. It's made for money purposes. It's not made to harm you like in your body. It's gonna break this down. No, the whole emphasis of it is for business. That the orange is nice and big. It grows in 6 weeks instead of 9 months. That's what a GMO is for. You know what I mean? There's no one making it for it to purposely harm your health, which you don't get.
So like the other one. And like pest free, like they put stuff
Absolutely.
So the pests,
1 second's up.
Don't buy it.
1 second's up.
Okay.
1 second. It's like area.
They say to eat fruit without no place of origin because of something that has seen where it comes from.
Absolutely. Listen, even if it hasn't got a seed, eat it. Remember, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a fruit, man. Eat it. There's nothing wrong with it. Remember, it's only made for what? It's made for them so that what? They can get rich. It's not purposely made to harm your health, which, again, if you worship the internet, GMOs, they break down your body, they're killing you. Says who? The whole point of it is for business so that they can reproduce it faster. Stop you, brother. You got. Is it safe to eat a fruit that doesn't have any seeds in it? Like the grapes that you don't have any seeds? And yes, obviously it was made in a lab. Absolutely. It's irrelevant of which lab. No, but I have answered his question. The point is he can eat it. That is the question. Absolutely. If it's not damaging your health, you can eat it. Is there any law against it? So hang on. So now you've answered the question. You said no. So now if there's no law against it, then what are we even talking about?
Right.
You finished? Okay. No sweat. We are redone. No. Hang on a second, brother. You answered the question. If there's no seeds in it, if there's nothing in the Bible wrong with it, if there's no law against it, then that's the point done. You can eat it. If there was a law against it, then guess what? I would tell him no.
Right.
But there's nothing wrong with it, so you can eat it, man. You can eat it. Why? Because God says there's nothing wrong with it. There's no law against it, so there's nothing wrong with it. So you can. So where was we in Psalms?
Psalms 104 and verse 16.
Read that.
The trees of the Lord are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon which he hath planted.
There you go, man. Everything on the earth is for us. Even a tree is made what? It's made for what? The purpose of wood, man. The Lord made this earth for you. Enjoy it, man. Stop being afraid of everything. This earth is made for you to live on. And there's things here for you to use, man. And you can't use this earth if you're afraid, man. I can't do this, I can't do that. Guess what, man? You're not using the earth for what the Lord made it for. The whole earth is made to support you, man. There's trees, there's bricks. You know what I mean? Anything that you need, the earth supplies it, man. The earth is to help you. And listen, you better enjoy it, man. You can't be afraid of life and to live when the whole purpose of this earth is made to help you, man. Read on.
Khan. Where the birds make their nests. As for the stork, the fir trees are her house.
And there you go. And listen, man, this earth sustains everything. And you know what I mean? What we say in the UPK is live, man. Don't be fascinated with the internet. Live. And you guess what? If you serve the Lord, you will get that life. So that's the class. We're up on the time. To Zarpan, you wanted a breakdown in Revelations. So I don't know, your mic's muted. I think your mic is on mute. You wanted a breakdown
I think you've
Revelation.
Khan, yeah. But
right.
You can do it next time if you.
No. You know what I mean? I can't do you like that. So you know what I mean? All right. What verse is it? Revelations 22.
So 22:1. Yeah, what it said. Hold on a second.
All right, let's get that. If I got the answer, Revelations 22:1.
Book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 1.
Yeah.
And he shewed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb.
Okay, I'll get a breakdown on this. I have heard it before. I have a rough idea, but I'll just get it 100% right, so that you know what I mean. You're not getting a piece here and in there, right? So I'll get that for you for next week, right? So I'll jot that down. Revelations 22:1. All right.
And 21 as well. It's a kind of the whole, the kingdom of heaven breakdown in it. So
what you want
Revelation?
Revelation?
Similar, yeah, parallel. Like.
21:1 as well. Let me see if that jogs my memory.
Yeah, it's parallel, yeah. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can break down Revelations 21:1. So if you read 21.
That. Okay.
I can read it if you want.
Read on. Yeah, I thought he was reading it. So
Book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. And there was no more sea.
Okay, so now in the church, they believe that there's going to be no earth, no heaven. But no, all right, according to what we read here, how do you know how they think of it? That is not the case. And the answer is right there.
Oh, Salakia, a new heaven and a new earth.
Yeah, but remember it says for the first one, it's a passed away. So now in the same verse, there's an indicator that shows you that it doesn't mean what they think it means.
Salakia, sir. Is it because of the sea? There's going to be sea here.
Give that a hand. No.
Yeah.
Well, no. Yes, I know. And I'll explain. So now, if the heaven and the earth is gone, then of course there's no more sea. So even there, with the understanding they have, then why even mention it? Unless this means something else. So let's get a breakdown. So now with the heaven and earth, let's get some precepts on that. So let's get Lamentations 2. I believe it's Lamentations 2 and 1. Yeah. Or 3 and 1, one of the two.
Lamentations 2, verse 1. How have the Lord covered the daughters of Zion with a cloud in his anger?
All right, so now the Lord, so I'll break it down. So the Lord, he's angry with us. We've sinned against him. So it's a metaphor right here. You know, if you watched a cartoon in the past, have you ever seen a cartoon and there's a cloud wherever someone goes? It's raining and miserable. But that's what the Lord, obviously, it's a metaphor. That's what the Lord has done to us, man. He's clouded us in his anger, meaning wherever we go, we are a people that receive the anger of the Lord, man. Whether from the West Indies into England to America to wherever we are a nation. We always receive the anger of the Lord wherever we go. Read on.
Quran Khan, and cast down from heaven onto the earth the beauty of
What?
Israel.
So like, if you read that last bit again.
Quran Khan, and cast down from heaven onto the earth the beauty of Israel.
So now, what does that part mean? Heaven
So
in this context right here.
So like, is he talking about our state where we was in living a certain way, like living you know not in the condition that we're in now, such as we're living in a heaven place, like we're not worrying about money and police brutality and things like that. Is it talking about that?
That is a part of it. I write. It's like our reality has. Okay, so now the point of this is it is dominion in heaven. Okay, so now the emphasis is being up there, someone you look up to. Now remember when King David was around, we had everything, all the nations round about us, subject unto us. We was in heaven, we was in rulership, and because of our sins, we was in heaven and we was cast down to the earth, man. Meaning what we're low. So now, you know what I mean? It in the Bible, not in every case, it doesn't always mean that, you know what I mean, heaven up in the sky. Sometimes in some contexts, it's talking about dominion and rulership. So now let's get back to Revelations 21 and 1.
Khan. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
So now we're gonna start right there. We read Lamentations. We was in heaven and we was cast down to the earth. So what does this mean? He saw a new heaven and a new earth.
So like it's for me.
Yeah, go ahead.
He saw, so he's looking, and in the vision he see whoever was in that heaven, it switched, and whoever was that earth, it switched also.
Give that a hand. That's it. He saw a new heaven and a new earth. Meaning, I'll make it understandable. He saw the white man down and we was on top. He saw a new heaven like raw. We rule. They're on the earth. Just
when we cast down to earth, what does the Bible mean when it says we've got to bring down and cast down to earth from heaven? What further that? What does the Bible mean? What does the Apocrypha mean when it says condemned to the lower parts of the earth? What is the lower parts of the earth?
Okay. Now, I don't know which verse you're referencing, but if you get that, okay, then if you can get me the exact part and we'll break that down. All right, so in the book of Revelations here, not Randy. Now, so in the book of Revelations here, he saw a new heaven and a new earth, meaning there were some people in heaven and it was new, meaning what? At one point they wasn't there. So he said that what? Now things are reversed. He was in heaven, they're on the earth, and now there's someone new up there, man. Meaning what? It's a new dominion, a new rulership. Read on.
Khan. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
And there you go. That's why he saw a new heaven and earth, because the first one was passed away. So the dominion they had is passed away. That's why John saw a new heaven and the new earth, because those that was ruling, they're not anymore. That's why it's passed away, because he saw a new one. And if you think I'm making it up, even at the a grammar, after the first part, there's a colon there, meaning what? It's explaining the other part. So let's read it again. And I saw a new her heaven and a new earth. The colon is gonna explain it. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. That's why he saw a new one, because the other one passed away. The dominion they had, it passed away. That's the breakdown. It's
So
just
Can't
so
see
you
it.
like the other one?
And the
What's that?
last part.
Yeah, please. Last part. You should read the last
So
part, and there was no more sea in them.
Come on. And there was no more sea.
So now, what does the sea represent in Revelations? The priest about the sea is the nations, the multitudes. Meaning what? The sea is just other nationalities. So meaning among us, there was no more seeing us. Meaning what? East Indians robbing our money, or the corner shops robbing us blind. Meaning what? There was no more people mixed in among us, man. There was no heathens robbing us. So
Right.
we get that precept in Revelations about what the sea is, because the Bible explains it.
Mm-hmm.
So if
so
you
it's
can, yeah,
like the other one.
I'll get to you in a second. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
You know, like when it says no new heaven and new earth, is that not like the old kingdom with David and then the new kingdom with us in the future?
No, it says a new, and I'll explain why. In the time of King David, he conquered the people that was just around him. In this one, we rule the earth. So it's new. This, you mean the dominion that we had at that time? Remember, he only conquered the people that was around us. But in this heaven, we rule the earth. We're gonna rule India, China, Mongolia, Ethiopia. We're gonna rule all of it, man. That is a new heaven. It's not the existing one or the one of the past. This one's new. It's different. Right. Anyone got that precepts about the sea? It's in the same book of Revelations about the a harlot, and she had written on her head Babylon the Great, and then it explains what the sea is.
Which chapter and verse?
I believe it's Revelations 7, no 8. You know what? I'll just
18.
So like it's
yeah.
if I could, is it chapter 8 and verse 8.
Let's
or-
see. Revelations 8 and 8. No.
No.
Man.
Mountain burning.
All right. It even starts off bit about on her head had mystery Babylon the Great.
Oh right.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So it's in that same chapter there, and it lets you know what the sea is.
Revelation 17 verse 5.
17 and 5. Yeah,
Can't
you're right.
say-
That is it. So okay, so we're not gonna read all of it. We'll just get to the point that we need to make the point. So in your own time, of course, with John, it was a vision. You saw a woman on her head, mystery Babylon the Great. She was drunk, drinking. Of course, those things mean something else. But today, we're making the point about what the sea is. All right. So it should break down. Come here. She was on the sea, and it breaks it down. So it can be in the wilderness. The woman, the angel, dwell about his pit, 7 mountains, 7 horns, beasts, horns, 1 mind. She makes war against the lamb. Saurus, 10 horns.
Source 15?
Which verse is it?
15, I think. Verse 15.
Oh, 15. Okay, let's check that.
Is it?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
that's
it. Yeah.
it. Cool.
Also in Christ, right? So now this a precept goes with a Revelations a 21 and 1 about the sea and what it represents. Read that.
Book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 17 and verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Right.
What can I say? That you know what I mean? I don't even think I need to even explain that shit. Yeah, you know,
Mm.
that's pretty much it. So that's what the C is. Mean that you mean when like a we rule, there's
Mm.
no more nations
Right.
among us, man. No more
That's right.
sea, no more nations,
Damn.
multitudes of people.
Right.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? Damn, that's just a headshot right there. You know what I mean? But all right, so fuck it. We got another a question. So in that verse you're referring to, you want to know what the lower parts of the earth are. So if you read that verse,
The book of Manasseh, first Maccabees. I have sinned, O Lord, I have sinned, and I acknowledge mine iniquities. Wherefore, I humbly beseech thee, forgive me, O Lord,
uh-huh,
forgive me, and destroy me not with mine iniquities.
got yeah.
Be not angry with me forever by reserving evil for me, neither condemn me into the lower parts of the earth.
Okay, so in that context there, the lower parts of the earth, it say a grave. That's the lower part. So when you make a grave, that is the lower parts of the earth. So you have the ground and the lower parts. That's a grave, meaning someone's digged it and put you in the lower parts of the earth. Remember, it's saying that he doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to be condemned, meaning adjudged into the lower parts of the earth, meaning he doesn't want the Most High to take his life. Is what he's saying. Is yeah, that's what he's saying in that.
Right.
So we're up on the time. We did some extra time in this class today, but you know what I mean. Again, Akim, you know what I mean. It's wonderful. You know what I mean, being in a class with all of you, man. You know what I mean. We do it every week, and I enjoy it every week, Akim. You know what I mean. It's good to see you every week, Akim. Right? And everyone online, we got a Yana Kwaf from London, a Kevin, a Collins. I'll answer your question next week. Parak, Rakal, Dwayne Davis in Minneapolis. Good to see you too, man. Aisha, you know what I mean? Listen, man, you need to come here, man. 394 Lodge Road. You got Ty, Kamala, and you know what I mean? A Greg Walker, Nakapaya, One West, Yanukwaf, a Howaba, Young Man Woodman. You know what I mean? From a Michigan, Detroit, man. You know what I mean? Good to hear from you as well. Big Matthew, you know what I mean? And sure, Arapa, you know what I mean? It's good to have everyone in, man. And we'll be doing it next week. All right, Akim. So with that, everyone good? So with that, you know what I mean? This is the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana, established since 1969. All right, Israel, shalom.
Shalom.
Sure. Yeah, but sure,